Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Tea with the Queens. I'm excited for our next guest, Shaniah Gunter, and she's an amazing young lady that I have the pleasure of being a co-author with in a book that we're in together. And we talked about her journey is amazing. So I wanted her to share her journey and her story with us. And be a guest on Tea with the Queens because I know that she has a lot to pour into us. There's a lot of learning. There's a lot of empowerment that she brings to the table. It's just an awesome individual. And I'm excited for you all to meet her. So I'm going to bring up Shaniah Gunter and I'm going to let her introduce herself and let us know who she is. Hey,
Hello,
how
hello.
are
How
you?
you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great in yourself.
I'm good. I'm good. Glad to have you. Excited to have you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So we're gonna start off with finding out who Shania is. Let us know who you are.
Okay, my name is Shaniah Gunter. I am 21 years old. I graduated from Granby High School. I am a cerebral palsy advocate and motivational speaker. I like going to church. I like reading my Bible. Like spending time with my family and friends, and giving back to my community.
Okay. So you say cerebral palsy advocate.
Yes.
Let us know what that journey is. It has been for you. Cerebral palsy. What has that journey been for you in your life?
Cerebral palsy has been a big challenge for me. I was diagnosed with mild cerebral palsy, spectiplegia. Those that don't know what cerebral palsy is, that deals with the brain. That deals with the muscles of the body, physical limitations of the body. Sometimes it can be a developmental delay. Um, Growing up living with cerebral palsy, it has been a big challenge for me because I didn't walk till I was 3 years old. I had to go to physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy to just not help me with walking, but help me with talking and help me with daily activities so I can become more independent. Also, I had challenges with learning, so I had a learning disability when I was in school. So I needed an IUP to help me to cope with learning skills so I can pass my classes, so I can, be successful like other kids. And so they labeled me as special need. A lot of people counted me out. They labeled me as slow, retarded, a handicapped child. Um, and not only that, I had to get Botox injections growing up to help me with muscle stiffness, muscle tightness in my legs. I also had seizures as an infant. But through it all, God has been so good to me. I started speaking at 11 years old. I started going to different churches. I started joining different support groups so I can advocate research in the community, so I can encourage others that have cerebral palsy, different types of cerebral palsy, different type of things that they're going through. But I want to give back to my community to let people know that no matter what you're going through, no matter how you feel, no matter what disability you got, you can do it if you put your mind to it. Um, so I never let nothing stop me. But I know for a whole fact that no matter what the doctors say, God got the last to say so.
Exactly. I mean, look at you now and think about all the challenges that you've been through. You're amazing. And not that you have to go through all of the things you went through to be amazing, but you were talking about all the difficulties you were having, all the things that you were going through that doctors said you could or couldn't do, all the limitations that was on you and all the limitations that others put on you. Look at what you're doing now. And you're making a big impact in the community, now in the United States. And like I told you before, it's going to be in the world. So you're going to go higher and higher and higher. So what is out of all that you've been through as far as your cerebral palsy, what has been the biggest challenge that you face with it?
Well, I would say struggling, making friends. That was a big, challenge for me because I felt like, why me? Why they looking at me different? The acceptance parts was hard for me because I couldn't really accept at first that I had cerebral palsy. So growing up, it was hard for me to accept that I had to wear braces and I was different. And so a lot of people didn't want to be bothered with me because I was different. So that was a big challenge for me to interact with my peers and to interact with people my age group. That was a hard challenge to do.
Yeah. A lot of people prejudge, don't even know. In the society, when I was growing up, when I was in school, there was a separation in the schools. If someone had a physical challenge or a learning disability, whatever the case may be, they separate all the kids. So you never had a chance to interact and learn. That that stigma had just kind of followed through. Even though now they're more integrated, there's not a lot of education. And that's what, you being a motivational speaker and the things that you do, that's what brings about change. That would change the direction of the thinking and the relationships that others in the future may have with someone without them looking at what they can or can't do or their limitations. So that is very, very, that's a very strong commitment that you're making to be a spokesperson for cerebral palsy, to be an advocate, because it's very important that we feel comfortable in our own skin. It's also just as important that we embrace and we enjoy our lives. So thank you
Mhm.
for sharing that. So how do you stay positive and how do you stay motivated?
How do I stay motivated?
Yeah.
I listen to like different motivational speeches. I listen to different, I listen to different motivational speeches. Listen to gospel music. I read. I write in my journal. I say affirmations to myself. I look up different things. I research different things. Look up different quotes. I go to church. I pray to God, and so that's what motivates me to keep going and let me know that I can do this. Even when I don't feel like putting them braces on, put them on because
Put them
you know
on.
it's gonna help you. And so motivating myself really helped me to realize that this is how God created you to be. You can't change that thing. You got to. I tell myself all the time, you can't be like her, him, she. You know, him. You can't be like nobody but yourself. And so, when you read the word, he said he created us in his own image. And so God created you to be like him, not to be like nobody else. And so I'm in a place now that I have to motivate myself and understand that this is who I am, this is what I gotta deal with. And so if you're a child of the most high, then you gotta go through some things to get to your destination, to get to where he
Exactly.
wants you to get to where he wants you to be at.
Exactly. And he created us in his image and he created us to be great. And
Hmm.
that's the thing. Now, when you said journaling, I know that when I was younger, I would journal. And
Hmm.
I mean, at the time, of course, there was not any social media. There was, when we typed, it was on a typewriter. It wasn't even, they call it word processor, I think, once they started getting those little electric typewriters and everything. So it was journaling. We wrote a lot. But today, I think that people write, but they don't write as much. I think that journaling is a beautiful thing and it's a great tool to share your feelings, because when I go back and I read something that I journaled, sometimes I'm like, did I say that? What kind of headspace was I in when I wrote that? Do you ever feel like that way when you go back and you read some of the things that you've written in your journal, different experiences that you went through? Can you go back and you look at it and you say, well, did I really go through this? What was going on in my life when I wrote this?
Hmm.
Do you
And,
go back?
and and well, I was going to speak on that part. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Um. So so me personally, I I did that. I was like, I'm gonna write in my journal, but I used to go back and everything I wrote, it came to pass. You know,
Oh,
everything
yeah.
I felt, it came to pass. And mental health is very important. And so when you setting boundaries, or when you taking doing self care, you know, even listening to meditation can help you, um and other things that can help you too with stress and anxiety, whatever. But journaling really helps me to get it out how you feel. You might not want to share it, but when you write it down, and once you're done writing it, unpack it, throw it in the trash can. And when you do that, it'll make you feel so much better. And
You're right.
you might not want to tell somebody, but once you write that thing and you write it down, and it's somewhere private where you can go back and you can see it, it helped me.
But see, that's what I'm saying. The gift that you have and the way that you deliver your words really is really encouraging to people. Really encouraging because it's encouraging to me. A lot of times we realize we carry the weight of things on us. We don't give ourselves an opportunity to just throw that stuff off of us. We carry it like we're supposed to. We think that this is the way we're supposed to do. We're just supposed to carry all this weight. And like you say, write it down, deal with it, and let it go. Move on. So that's amazing. And you're 21 and you're pouring that kind of message into us. And you, some of these people out here, they've been senior citizens for a long time, and they probably are learning something new, or not even so much learning it, but they're being encouraged to do that, to take that direction in their life, to get rid of that old junk, to let it go. It's just it's heavy, it's weighing, and when you go through something all your life, and you get to a point where you have to carry that weight, and you know how to just kind of lay it down, you take advantage of it because it's a lot. It's heavy. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. So
It's
if you can,
heavy.
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. If it's heavy, you know, I had to unpack that thing. Even
Hmm.
when I went to counseling, when I went to see a therapist, she told me, she said, you gotta release it. You gotta
Yeah.
release it, but you can't forget it. So I was just like, okay. So she was just like, you got to release it, and you have to let it go, because
Hmm.
whatever you let it holding you down, it's gonna stay down if you let it to hold you back from keeping you to move forward in the things of God and in the things of what you're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Yeah. And you don't want that to go. You got so your future is so rich. You don't want to have it weighed down by those things. Like your therapist said, deal with it. You're not going to forget it, but you don't have to marry it either. You don't have to let it pour into your life and just manifest there. You remember those things, but they're not a part of you. They're not a part of the core of who you are. So that's true. That's a true statement. So when you was writing in the book that we're writing together, there's a co-author. What is a little bit about your story without giving it all away because they got to go and read the book, but a little bit about your story.
Well, a little bit about my story in that book. I talked about just not with cerebral palsy, but also dealing with identity issues too.
Hmm.
Because like I say though, Miss Driver, that I feel like sometimes when I was going through my cerebral palsy, I felt like I had to compare myself to other people and other things living with a disability. And so sometimes I felt like, and now about me being an adult, I'm walking in my truth, because you can't worry about what she said, like I said, him say, you can't worry about what other people say. You have to worry about you and take care of you. And so I
Exactly.
feel like now I can embrace my condition without worrying about what other people think or say. I don't no longer worry about, oh, she gonna talk about me, I'm ashamed. They whisper about me because I got these braces on. You don't know what they're thinking about. So you can't always say that about people. And so I have learned over the years is that if I keep talking about being ashamed, I'm ashamed of God. You know, and so you're not living in your truth. So I have learned is that as an adult is that that, walking with this journey, you have to be honest with yourself, and you got to be honest about who you are, your identity, or who you are, in Christ. And so that's
Exactly.
why, and so, finding, your identity is very important, and finding who you are in Christ. Because we all live with something, but it's all how you get through that thing. You gotta see, if you're broken, you can't help nobody else. You gotta love yourself first. You gotta love you first, and then you can love somebody else. And that was hard for me to handle. But when I realized that I had to love myself, you got to love yourself and be honest with yourself. Be honest, about to God too, also, because you don't want to live a lie. You want to live in your truth.
You know what? And that's why I had to have you on the show, because you be speaking a word, you be pouring into us, you be pouring it out, and more people need to hear you. You definitely have a word for the people, because every time I talk to you,
Thank you.
you're amazing. You amaze me. You
Thank you.
do. I'm just sitting here
Mm.
like, wow, just taking it all in. How can you love others and you don't even love yourself? You be wrong with it too. I like it when you be like, baby, when you used to say your stuff. But you know what? That's true. That's your personality, and it's beautiful. And you just let it be made known. Look, get it together. And people miss out on a message because they feel like, okay, she's 21. What does she know? Look, you better listen. You better take heed, and you better take it all in. It's not about age. Sometimes it's just about the experience and what
Mhm.
you can pour into someone with. So I'm like, you're awesome, and I just see your future
Thank you.
just blossoming as a motivational speaker. You definitely are a motivational speaker, and you have so much that you can say. You have so much to tell. You have so much to pour out. I mean, sometimes we wonder in life when
Well, I mean,
why do we go through the things we've gone through? Why me? Why me? Why me?
and you know what
But
though? I'm sorry. I'm
go ahead.
so added to that. Uh, so
No, this your interview. You cut me off. You go ahead and talk.
I'm sorry. But I was going to answer that question because I feel like that was me too. Like, God, why me? Why, why? Even when I was a kid, I was like, why me? Like, I ain't putting these braces on. I ain't doing this. I ain't doing that. But when you doing that, you hurt yourself. You
Yeah.
hurt yourself, and God is not the author of confusion. He's not the author of confusion. So I felt like, I ain't putting any braces on today. Forget this. I don't want this. But you gotta change your attitude, and that was my attitude. Like, I ain't doing. They looking at me anyway. That's just how I felt. But
Hmm.
now I'm older and I'm mature. I don't have that mindset. I do what I got to do. I don't care if she like it, she don't like it, he don't like it. It's not about them.
Right.
It's about me. And so God told me, He said,
Exactly.
you gotta tighten up. You gotta get it together. You gotta get your stuff in order. 'Cause like I
Yeah.
said, if you broken, you sure cannot help nobody else. And so that was my mentality in serving God. I love God because He gonna get you right. You might not see it, but He gonna get you right, and He gonna send people to correct you, to help you, to get on a good foot. You
Yeah.
can go to the left all you want to, but the left ain't nothing there. You got to stay to the right, cause the right gonna lead you home.
Exactly. We're
Gonna
too
lead you
busy trying
home.
to look over to the left to find out what's going on over there, and we need to be staying on the right. The left is not going to do
Yeah.
nothing for. So I would like to know, and I know we can already figure out what's next for Shaniah based on the conversation we've already had. But what's next for you? What's next for you in your life, in your journey, where you're trying to go? What's next
What's
besides
next?
motivational speaking? Because I know that's in there.
I know. Well,
Yeah.
what's next for me? Not only I'm in this book with you, but this year coming up, I will be in a book called um. I've been working on it. It's a lady that I will be a part of with Mr. Brenda Thomas. She want me to be in a book called "Girl, Don't Catch Yourself Out." And so she want me to do an ideology with her, and so
Okay.
I've been working on that. With a little bit about sharing on that. I've been like I say, still advocating. I'm still still working on finding a part-time job. I'm still still trying to get more resources and still connect
Mm-hmm.
with more people so I can continue to not just share my story, but just continue to give somebody else hope and let them know that no matter what, God is with you in the midst of the storm. And so I want to be able to elevate in God and continue to just study His Word and continue to strive for excellence, because excellence is going to lead me to my purpose, my home, my purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and what He created me to do.
And I will say this, Shania, that you definitely walk in excellence. You carry yourself in excellence, and you're truthful. When you're going through something and you feel a certain way, you're very honest about it, and that's
Yes.
you're not ashamed of your feelings. That's what I've come to know about you. You're not ashamed of how you feel. You feel a certain way, you say, this is how I feel. Okay, let me deal with it. Let me get it straight. Let me find out what I need to do to move past this. So you walk in that. So, when you go before the people as a motivational speaker, what, and like I said, we can already figure it out with you being an advocate for cerebral palsy, but what other message would you give the people? Just one, man. Now I know it's so many different topics and things you could talk about on the stage, but what's one message that you haven't delivered yet that you feel like I'm gonna one day deliver a message on this particular thing?
Well, what I would say is, what I want to say is, be truthful. Be truthful.
Hmm.
Be truthful. When
Yeah,
you're not truthful, it's gonna catch up with you.
yeah.
I know I've been there, I've done that, but we have to be truthful with ourselves. And when you do that, it's gonna help you to become better. And I had to learn that myself. Is I'm being honest about the situation? No, I'm not. Is I'm being honest about myself? No, I'm not. So we have to be honest, and we can't worry about what other people say or think. We have to be truthful to ourselves. And then when we be truthful to ourselves and honesty, and in communication with God, it will help us,
Hmm.
to grow in His walk with Him, and not only to grow with His walk with Him, but to grow within ourselves. Because, like I said a while ago, if you're broken, you can't love nobody else. So you have to be
No.
honest about who you are and figure out what your purpose is and what you're trying to do. Instead of trying to be a follower, you gotta be a leader. You gotta lead your own self to a place where God wants you to be at.
Yeah, that is so true. You got to be truthful about these things out here and stop hiding. And that's a true saying. The truth the truth shall set you free. For real,
Yes,
for
sir.
real.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Bible verse. I love that Bible
Really?
verse. Yes.
But that's the truth. You being truthful. Stop living a lie. Stop it. Walk in your truth. Let's just be free. Time is of the essence. Life is not forever, so time is not forever. Just be truthful. Do what you got to do. So let us know what projects you got coming up, any engagements you got coming up, any speaking engagements you got coming up. I know that the one project you said, can you mention that again? The one that is her name Tiffany?
Sabrina's
Sabrina.
Thomas.
Okay.
They'll be coming
Can
out
you
this
tell
year.
us the title of that
Um,
book again?
it's called "Girl, Don't Count Yourself Out."
Don't counsel, girl, don't counsel yourself out.
Oh,
Now the one that we're on together
girl, don't
is
count
through
yourself.
don't don't girl don't count yourself out.
Huh?
You said girl don't count yourself
Say,
out.
girl, don't count yourself out.
Okay. So then the other one is the beautiful face of the invisible illness, masking the
Hmm.
pain we endure, by
Right.
the visionary Nadia Mananso. So
Yes.
that's the project that we're on together, and you're going to be having these speaking engagements soon.
You said, do I have any speaking engagements soon?
Hmm.
No, no, not right now.
Okay, not right now. But hey, if you're looking for a speaker, here we go. Here we go. And also, so you get your books coming out. You're going to be speaking soon. You're going to be advocating. So anything you want to just tell us, pour into us, anything that you would like for us to take away from this interview that we can apply to our lives.
I would say continue to renew your mind every day. Stay focused. Stay positive. Believe in God. Don't give up. Don't quit. Know that God can handle anything you're facing. Know that you are a child of the Most High. You can't let the devil win. Just stay focused, and you will see the ends. What God's gonna do for you in your life.
Amen. This is Miss Shaniah Gunter,
Thank you. Thank
an
you.
amazing motivational speaker, advocate for cerebral palsy, an author, a co-author, just an amazing, amazing, amazing young lady that I have had the pleasure of slowly getting to know. And I just can't wait to see where you're going to go on your journey, where God is taking you on your journey, the places He's going to take you, and the platforms He's going to have you on is going to blow your mind. So you be
Yes.
encouraged and you walk in that thing, okay?
Thank you so much.
So thank you, Shania, for taking the time out to grace us with your presence in an interview. And I hope that you had fun.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay. Well, thank you.